All right, you guys, so my last video I talked about what stress does to your body. If you haven't watched that video yet, go back, check it out. I want you to start understanding the impact that stress has on your body so you can start recognizing those symptoms and start figuring out what's causing them, because ultimately that's what you're here for, right? Is you want to figure out what's the cause of my symptoms. So go back, watch that video, and once you have, let's talk about stress reduction techniques. So the first thing you need to do is identify what is stressing you. Is it your job? Is it your family? Is it finance? Is it health? Quantify the stressors. Don't just let it be this big ominous cloud. So let's say you choose work as your stressors. Okay, so the next step is you have to break down what about work is stressing you out. Is it that they have demands on you that you don't feel like you can meet? Do you just not like your job? Is your boss a jerk? Do they expect you to be at their beck and call? Are you sick of responding to emails at 10 p.m.? Whatever it is, I need you to figure out that out, because that is the first step in reducing your stress levels. So I have a lot of patients who come in like, oh, I'm just so busy at work, I don't eat lunch, I barely drink water, I don't take bathroom breaks, and I always have to stop and ask them, why? Like, do you really think your boss is watching from above and saying, oh, look it, Sharon skipped her lunch again today, bravo, Sharon must be a good worker? No, they're not. And the thing is, like, they'll fire you at the drop of a hat if they feel like they need to, and ultimately it doesn't matter how many lunches you skipped, they'll still fire you. So why are you rooting your life and your health for them? It doesn't make any sense. And so realizing that relationship that we have with our work is going to be very critical. So once you can step back and realize, is this a healthy relationship? Do I have proper boundaries? The second step is to set those boundaries. And this holds true for family stressors, for financial stressors. So let's say that your family's making unreasonable demands on you. It's okay to take a step back and say, okay, I need to focus on taking care of myself. You need to have some boundaries. You know, maybe your kids need to actually do some chores, or maybe your spouse needs to help you out with something. I don't care what it is, but start thinking about that process, because this is how you reduce those stressors in your life, is by putting up those healthy boundaries after you've identified what it is that's draining you. The other next thing you need to do to reduce stress is you've got to think about what you're doing for yourself. So everybody hears about self-care, like, oh yeah, you deserve to treat yourself. Yeah, no, that's not what I'm talking about. Self-care is a time during your day where you kind of take like a time out. So if you work all day and then you get home from work and then you want to work all evening and you kind of expect yourself to function great and be happy, well, you're not a very nice boss to yourself. You need to take time to sit down and enjoy the day. And so you can start your day with this, you can do it in the middle, you can end your day this way, but take 10 to 30 minutes for yourself where you do something that makes you feel good. Anything that makes you feel good. A lot of my patients, they like to read a book, or they have a cup of tea, they sit outside, they chat with their spouse, you know, maybe take an Epsom salt bath, whatever it is that makes you feel good. It doesn't have to be the same thing every day, but you need to do something for yourself every day. It's a non-negotiable. It doesn't matter if you made it through your to-do list or not. Keep in mind, self-care is not vegging out in front of the TV watching something. Why does that not count? Because it's passive. You're just trying to deaden your brain and cover up your misery, so that doesn't count as self-care. Self-care has to be an active thing, an activity. So start brainstorming about what would make you feel good, and likely you don't know. And that's okay, I hear that all the time. But start trying things, then you'll learn real fast what you like and what you don't like. So that's the second most important thing to reducing stress, is you need to identify what's stressing you and set up proper boundaries. You need to instigate some sort of self-care every day, some sort of self-care routine. And the third thing is you have to have fun. Life is way too short to not have fun. And so I often ask my patients to do this as well. If you want to decrease your stress, you need to start thinking about what you're living for. And you know, get like a 6-month exciting activity on the calendar, but do something every week too. Don't make it a big flashy thing. Make it small and simple. So for me, one of the things I like to do on the weekend, I like to go to a new coffee shop because I love coffee. So that's one of my special activities. Or maybe you're gonna spend 2 hours in the gym and you're gonna really stretch, and that's gonna feel amazing. Great. Whatever it is that you think sounds fun, do that. It does not have to be flashy. It does not have to be expensive. So that is how you actually need to reduce stress in your life. So the 3 steps, again, identify what's stressing you and set up proper boundaries, instigate self-care, and 3, make sure you're having fun. And if you can bring these principles into your life, I guarantee you're gonna have a lot less stress.